IRENE MASIT joins us, IEBC Commissioner. She's on the line. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Whom am I speaking to?
This is Eric Latif, CT Muga, and Nduoko on SpiceFM. Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning to you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And thank you very much for speaking to us. We are, of course, now tracking the numbers, seeing what's happening across the country, and waiting for updates from Bomas of Kenya, where you and your fellow commissioners, plus the chairman, will be addressing the country throughout until you have the final announcement. Let's just begin with just getting clarity on what was announced by the IEBC commissioner yesterday, just for everybody to be sure that they understand. The Form 34A, 34B, 34C, up to the point when the chairman, who is the national returning officer, declares the presidential result winner. Take us through that process from 34A to the winner.
Yes, thank you very much, Lucky. Yes, I want to say at the polling station, I want to take you at the polling station. There are different types of forms.
Yes.
For presidential, we have 34A.
Mm-hmm.
For member of parliament, we have 35A.
Mm-hmm.
For MCA, we have 36A. And then for governor, we have 37A. Senator, we have 35A.
Mm-hmm.
And then for women rep, we have 39A at the polling station.
So
now,
Senator is 38A.
Then it now as a
Sorry, Commissioner. Senator is 38A.
Yes.
And woman rep 39A.
39A. That is at the polling station.
Okay.
When you move to the constituency tallying center,
yep,
all those now turn to Bs.
Yep.
Where there is collation. Mm-hmm. So for president, it will be collated to 34B. Mm-hmm. Likewise, the others, the way it is. It was A, no, all of them now become
B.
A. They become B, sorry. Mm-hmm. Once they are Bs,
mm-hmm,
at the constituency, MPs, now they'll be collated and results announced.
Yep.
Using from 34B,
35B.
Yes, they use that one and they announce at the constituency tallying center. Mm-hmm. Then for governor, senator, and women rep now are taken to county for final announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Using 30, that is now 37, 8, and 9. C, and then certificate is issued at D for certificate.
Okay.
Then when you come to president now, we can focus now on president.
Yeah.
President after constituency tallying center, they announce what the president has gotten there, each candidate, and they announce for all positions there. It's only that MP and MCA are announced at the constituency tallying center as final. Mm-hmm. Now after they announce for the president, we now do the online, which started at the polling station. Mm-hmm. From that point, president was already started. It's only president which is transmitted. Mm-hmm. So already you've seen from the polling station, we'll still have from constituency tallying center. Mm. But the Form 34A for the polling station will be brought physically to Bomas of Kenya. Yeah. So when you don't see us around there at the auditorium, we are doing background work for ensuring that the other images come first, which are being finalized. Uh-huh. And then immediately returning officers at the constituency tallying center finish. The deputy returning officer at the constituency takes the other results to county. Mm-hmm. The county returning officer to announce, and then constituency returning officer now brings the physical Form 34A to Bomas for verification, quality check before announcement by the returning officer with the chairman.
So the returning officer from the constituency must come physically to Bomas?
Must come physically.
Accompanied by the Form 34B.
Has been signed by everybody else, and what was given to agents, media, and people who are at the tallying at the polling center. Yes.
Okay.
So we'll only announce once we get that physical form from each and polling station.
And the law gives you a window of 7 days.
It does. It
from,
does.
from polling day.
To announce the results. And hopefully, we'll be able to announce by Friday, Saturday, depending on how fast those forms arrive.
Commissioner, we saw yesterday, even as the polls opened and then through the day, that the voter turnout was low. We're looking at, quite a number of things now that, maybe the lowest, turnouts in a number of years. Is that worrying to the commission? And does it then really not matter in terms of the processes that have to take place through the next few days, tallying and announcing and such? Does the number weigh in terms of, does the number weigh in any way? Do these numbers that we are seeing weigh in any way on the process?
Yes, I want to say it's worrying because if you remember when we were doing voter registration, the youth turnout was low. But still, the forms we are receiving online, there are those results which have not been collected. The ones, you remember, there are some places where people have to use physical register. Remember?
Yes.
The ones we are getting now are the ones which are in the KIMS, which calculate automatically. But there are those which, you remember, there are places where people could not be able to vote using the KIMS kit.
Yeah.
So those results have not yet been projected because now they have to go that physical register, verify. Yes, but we believe it might go up to 15 million or fully, but I cannot say for sure for now. But I know it will surpass a bit 12 million going to that figure. We'll be able to tell when everything else has been finalized, being tallied. But for now, those are just projections.
Okay. There's also a mathematics question, a bit of arithmetic here that we were trying to, grapple with before we spoke to you. And that is, so there's the requirement of the 50 plus 1. There's also the requirement of the majority in the different
25% majority.
25% majority in the counties. So what happens between your two candidates, or if somebody then does not achieve the 50 plus 1%, and then also does not achieve the 25% majority with the votes that have been counted? What happens where you have an impasse in terms of one who would be declared winner?
Or that's one scenario, Commissioner. That's one scenario. What if somebody does get the 50 plus 1%, but does not get the 25%
majority.
The majority of the counties?
Thank you very much for that question. I want to say, as you rightly put it, there are two scenarios. One, to carry the day, you have to get at least majority of the 47 counties. That is now 24 counties. And 50 plus 1. 50 plus 1 is calculated based on the total vote cast, not total registered voters.
Yes.
Calculated based on the total vote cast. Assuming none of the two competing candidates gets, or any of the candidates gets those requirements, it means there'll be a runoff.
Okay.
That runoff will be within 30 days. And whoever emerges now with the highest votes, that is what we call simple majority. Whoever gets the highest now carries the day. That is one scenario.
So, Commissioner,
another scenario,
please go ahead, scenario. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Another scenario, assuming what happened in 2017, whereby the votes were nullified. So it means another election has to be done within 60 days after nullification. So it means we have to prepare for another
presidential election.
That is, if someone files a petition to challenge election, and that's the filing of the challenging of that election must be done within 7 days after announcement of the results. You are getting me?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Let me ask another scenario
those are the
here.
scenarios.
Is there any scenario that would see us getting to the 7 days after yesterday where the IEBC chairman does not declare a winner?
Now, what happened is, first, it depends on how those results come from the ground, the way I told you. And then also it depends because now, of course, if one doesn't meet those requirements, because we are working within the law,
Yep.
so the chairman cannot create other scenarios outside the law. He has to abide by the law because he cannot create a scenario on his own because he has factors guiding him on how to go about it. Yes.
Commissioner, let's talk about these KIMS kits that did not function yesterday, particularly the ones in Makueni, because there were very many, 84 in just Kibwezi West constituency. What happened? What could have happened?
Actually, what happened, it was not, this KIMS kits first, they have inbuilt batteries in them. And also, they have power backup. And we had also backup kits. As we've always been telling you, we've been having backup kits 6 per ward.
Yep.
Now, the law again is very clear how to identify and register one. And it gives that scenario that you use the KIMS kit to identify one. And one has to source all the 10 fingers. And where one doesn't succeed, one is supposed to use the ID. That's the alphanumeric now, either the ID or the
Passport.
or the passport. And where one fails now, that's when now you opt for the register. So I believe where the register was used, all those options must have been exhausted before resorting to the kit. Yes. So the other options must have failed. That's why they resorted to manual register.
And what is it that would make this because we're actually talking about 11 options here. You're talking about trying 10 fingers, all of them fail, then inputting the ID number, that also fails. That's 11 attempts at using identification through the KIMS kit.
Yes.
What's the scenario is it that would make it fail so monumentously?
There are scenarios whereby voters, some forget which document they used to register.
Okay.
Some could have used the passport and they are now using the ID. Some failed to verify their details. Remember, we had a verification period whereby one was to send his ID or passport number, stroke date of birth, to 70,000. And we had even a website and link and everything.
Yep.
So some failed to verify. So their details were not revised adequately. So we had audit reports. Remember?
Yes.
That audit report, you find that at times somebody was registered not using the biometric before. But now, when we went to biometric, some of the voters didn't go to change their voting from manual to CPR registration.
Okay.
So there are quite a number of issues which I believe immediately we finish this election successfully, we'll do a post-election evaluation to understand what happened and rectify for future so that we ensure that we have a better voting. But remember, out of 46,229 kids which went down there, only 200 failed. So if you look at the percentage, it's not very huge. And it's something which we can improve on and manage next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Commissioner IRENE MASIT, thank you very much for speaking to us. We hope to be able to be getting in touch with you even as this as it progresses before we even get to Friday and Saturday for the final announcement.
You are welcome anytime. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak to Kenyans.
Thank you.
Asante sana.
Asante.
That's Commissioner IRENE MASIT of the IEBC speaking to us, telling us about, just clarifying the process of getting the result from the polling station all the way to the IEBC National Tallying Center to the point where the presidential winner is declared, and then going backwards all the way to how the county governor, senator, woman rep is declared winner, how the result is also announced at the constituency level for MP and MCA. This is what is happening now, and we have all our correspondents across the country. We have them monitoring the constituency levels, especially the returning officers, so that when the returning officer then receives all these forms 34A, 35A, 36A, 37A, 38A, 39A from the polling stations, and they start tallying them, and they start announcing the results, our people on the ground will be there and they'll be telling us this is the result that has been announced by the returning officer at X constituency.